bloody heads and all this. You know what I'm saying? Looking pretty bad out there.
This is an unbelievable piece of video out of UC Davis outside Sacramento. 2 campus cops, pepper spray, seated, peaceful students. They're in a peaceful protest. They're just sitting there. I've had a little bit, a tiny little bit, like here's some hairspray, like that much sprayed on me, and I was doubled over from pepper spray. You can imagine the pain that these students experienced. Sandra Endo, CNN reporter, what happens next? Are we going to see lawsuits? Could we see criminal charges filed against these cops?
Yep.
Well, here's what happened today, Jane. The chancellor, Linda Pt.2, was called to resign over the weekend. Of course, the tensions and the outrage is mounting. Well, she accepted and showed up to a student rally on campus today and offered an apology to the students, saying that she doesn't want to be the chancellor of the school she saw Friday. So clearly she is trying to get a hold of the situation. Obviously, of course, putting the police chief of the school on administrative leave as well.
Well, Eric Lee, do you want to see the chancellor of UC Davis go? Do you think that would send a message that this is not acceptable?
Well, absolutely, Jay. I think the bigger issue, not just getting rid of Chancellor Katehi and Chief Spikusa, but really what this goes down to, it does go all the way to the top. It goes right to Barack Obama and the 2 big business parties that are backing the financial class and their violent assault on peaceful protesters across the country.
Yeah,
I think an important point to make is when governments in Syria and Libya, countries like this, crack down on their peaceful protesters, we call for intervention. The hypocrisy of the ruling class in this country has been made so clear over the last month. What we really need is a political alternative to the 2 big business parties. That's why I'm a member of the International Students for Social Equality.
You know what? I hear you. You're getting into politics, and we're trying to look at this from a perspective that is not necessarily left or right, because to me, this is a human issue. I have to say that in my book, Addict Nation, I wrote about some of the issues that are being discussed as part of not just the Occupy LA movement, but on the other side of the coin, the Tea Partiers. The fact is that over the last 30 years, most taxpayers have seen their income stay flat or even go down. The top 0.01% have seen their income rise by 1,000%. And a lot of people say that that's because huge corporate interests control the government through lobbying and through, positions that they get on all the agencies. So I think that there's great things to talk about, but whether you agree with that or not is irrelevant. The fact is that these are Americans expressing themselves. Freedom of speech is one of the most fundamental tenets of our society. And it's something that we need to protect. It is the most patriotic thing we can do, is to protect our First Amendment rights. Let's go out to the phone lines. Tina, Pennsylvania, your question or thought?